guys, we have a big problem we need to talk about. So, a lot of things happened in the last week. I recorded a bunch of YouTube videos, both gaming and otherwise, and I even made a whole video explaining this specific thing I'm going to be talking about. But a hiccup happened. So, let's get the hiccup out of the way first. 2 days ago, as of the recording date, I was using my computer in the morning. I was playing some games, some RuneScape, some Battlefield 2042, the usual, just in the morning. And then I put it to sleep around lunchtime because I didn't want it to turn it fully off because it takes a long time to boot back up and everything. So I come back a couple hours later to wake it up from sleep, and it had some Windows issues. It just went into this blue screen of death kind of thing. Gave me a whole bunch of different options to repair Windows, to use the command feature, to boot from a disk or a flash drive or something. There's options that were kind of like that. So I'm trying to figure all that out. I tried, restarting the computer. I tried shutting the power off for 5 to 10 minutes, turning it back on. Nothing worked. Windows would not boot. I have never come across that problem, especially in this system, which is only 3 years old, and it's got some pretty good bits of gear in it, so I don't really know how that all works, especially because quote-unquote corrupted, because I had it in sleep mode. I don't know how it happened. Anyway, so I tried all these different kinds of fixes. I even texted my buddy Gus, who is a computer whiz, and I just picked his brain on a bunch of stuff. I Googled everything. I'm trying to use different hard drives because I have 3 hard drives. I have 2 SSDs and then a external hard drive that plugs in with a USB cord. So I'm trying all these different things. I tried allocating disk space on the SSDs to Windows. Windows still wouldn't install to it because I put the Windows installation files on a stick drive, and that was a recommended way of doing it. Either that or an actual CD you could put Windows on to install. But I tried the stick drive. Would not install on anything. It wouldn't even repair Windows. The Windows that was already on my computer, the stick drive couldn't even repair that. Something was going on in the back end. So I'm trying all these different options, and I'm texting Gus, and Gus is like, well, just get a brand new hard drive, install Windows on that, see how that goes. So I'm like, okay, that sounds fair. So I go to Best Buy, I get the cheapest hard drive they have. It was literally $20 for a 250 gigabyte SSD. I'm like, oh, perfect. So buy that, get home, install Windows on it. Literally no problems. Boom, Windows immediately goes on. It installs, it boots up to Windows 10. Amazing. We'd love to see it. However, in the process of all that happening, my 2 SSDs were completely wiped of all their data. One of them, it's not too bad. It was simply a whole bunch of different games I had in Steam. And I think Steam backs up the saves to the cloud, so it was just the actual game data. So that wasn't too bad. You can install a couple 100 gigabytes of games back on, no problem. So I'm not worried about that. The thing I was worried about was because their SSDs and not the USB hard drive is data usually writes quicker between those. So I had all of my video files and projects saved on the SSD, as well as most of the data that I had in my downloads and documents folder on my computer were mostly on the SSD. So that means that a whole bunch of different projects I was working on, airsoft, gameplay, podcast type stuff, not all podcast type stuff, but some podcasts, were deleted and completely wiped from both of the SSDs. And that includes a lot of data that I had from my previous computer back in the 2014 era. Pictures, documents, some music, just a lot of memories and stuff I needed from almost a decade ago. So that was fun to find out that they were all wiped. Thankfully, the bigger USB hard drive is completely intact, and that's my biggest one. I think it's 1.8 terabytes, which is amazing for storage. But now I have like 1.5 total terabytes of free hard drive space because I got the new hard drive and now I have 2 empty SSDs. Here's actually one. This is one of them. This is one that I pulled from my very old laptop that I had back in 2014. That's the internal hard drive of the laptop, but it does connect with SAT cables, which a ton of modern desktops have. It's not USB. There's very specific cables that plug directly into the computer, and I don't have enough cables, so I just have my new SSD that has Windows installed on it, and then I have my original SSD that had Windows prior to this. The one that went bad, I guess. I don't know. So that one's in there. That's 500 gigabytes. I figured, might as well get more storage. I don't even know how much space this has on it. Maybe, I'm guessing 250. Oh, it says 750 gigabytes? That's crazy. But it's an older hard drive, so it might run slower. I'm just going to leave that on the side there and not risk too much with that. So anyway, that's been the issue. And it deleted a bunch of videos that I had yet to upload to YouTube. Some gameplay videos, an explanation video, which I'm going to get into right now. So the release schedule for video game, YouTube videos, and Airsoft. Well, I mean, Airsoft is out of the question now because I lost all that data. But yeah, mostly podcast and gameplay videos for video games will be on a very strict release because my wife and I are having a baby soon. So there's going to be very little time for me to engage in my computer hobbies, much less to even record, edit, and upload gameplay videos for any meaningful length of time. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I do have time to do those kinds of things, but with kids, especially new infants, you really can't expect anything. You are kind of living on a day-by-day basis. So that has been my mindset going forward, where there will be very limited releases. I mean, podcasts maybe once a month, maybe. It really depends on the scheduling and trying to get me and Luke on the same schedule, especially with baby. So there's all these conflicts going on. So I just want to make you guys aware of that. There are certain things that I do not have access to anymore. Like I just said, some of my hard drives got wiped in the process of trying to reset Windows. So there were a couple Airsoft videos I was working on. And if you are watching this on the Ginger Jesus Airsoft channel, you're like, oh, cool. There's like part 2 of the freaking Airsoft content that was going on. And he's like, oh, stay tuned for part 3. There's no part 3. The data got wiped. So I don't have that backed up anywhere. I don't have an external hard drive that I had a duplicate copy of that. It's just gone. And it might be on my GoPro little drive thing, but I'm unsure. And that's down in storage. I'm not going to go all the way down there right now to check it. It might. I just thought of that just now. It might still have the data on that. So I don't know. So for Airsoft, maybe we'll have to see. But all my other content, it's going to be very iffy. So yep, just want to let you guys know about all that, and kind of shave my beard a little bit. Trying to get it all down so when baby comes, it'll pop back up a little bit. It'll be more manageable. But yeah, so I look really weird right now, so don't mind that. It's been a while since I cut it this low. So anyway, thank you guys for watching and staying in tune and informed, and hopefully accepting that this process that I had with reinstalling Windows was a real sham, and I was so anxious for like a day and a half of like, I don't know what to do. This is a huge problem because my computer is a lot of my day-to-day hobby type stuff. But it's all fixed now. It's all working good. I'm on Windows 10. I was on Windows 11 before. I'm back on Windows 10. It's really clunky. Not really sure I like it that much. It's okay, I guess. But the problem has been fixed with the sacrificial loss of a bunch of data and projects I was working on. So, whatevers. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you in the next video. Make sure you leave a comment below with your thoughts and tips of how to avoid Windows being a duty head in the future. But that's about it. Deuces.